Hey guys, how's it going? We're going to do another song here from the Hal Leonard book, Christmas Carols. This book is basically in the key of C and G, mostly in G. So we got a key signature here with the F sharp, but we're not in the key of G major, but rather its relative minor, the E minor this time. That means that we'll be playing in E Aeolian primarily. E Aeolian is the sixth mode in the key of G major. So G Ionian gives you the same notes as E Aeolian, but we're focused on the E as the root. As we've talked about before, I'll use this B Phrygian shape up at the 7th fret. B is the third mode in the key of G. So if you did a B song with all the notes of the key of G, it would be Phrygian. And when we work out a fingering that starts on B, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, then that's a B Phrygian scale, a B Phrygian mode, or at least a shape that I will use. I'll refer to it as the B Phrygian shape and play up here at the 7th position saying I'm in the key of G Ionian. In this case, I'm in E Aeolian. Same note choices as the key of G Ionian, same note choices as B Phrygian, but I'm playing at the 7th fret where B would be the lowest note. If I start on the E, I will have the same notes as an E Aeolian scale with the 5th string start. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E if I want. So they're all the same. This is E Aeolian. At the 7th fret, it will be in the confines of what I use as a B Phrygian shape, which I also often will call the G Ionian if I'm focusing on G roots. The song starts on a pickup note on the E, and as always, we'll be playing basically chord tones and scale walks. So we get an E, up to the chord tone G, up to the chord tone B. A minor to D7, the A to C, chord tones on the A minor, passing tone on the B note to a chord tone A, the 5th of the D7, to the root of a G chord. This could look like it has set us up to be in the key of G. You see this with hymns and jazz songs a lot, where we're actually targeting the key there. 6, 2, 5, 1, where G is the root. So in this section, you may consider that you're in G Ionian. We're just starting on the 6th chord. Back to E minor. B and G, chord tones, C chord, E and G, chord tones, the A note on the A minor, we'll do the 6th of that chord, the F sharp, as we fade down to the sus on the B minor and the flat 3, and then the E minor chord with the E root. Back to A's, chord tones, A notes, and the E's, pass through F sharp again, to the chord tone G on an E minor, pass through the F sharp to the chord tone E on an A7 chord, which lands you on the D chord, the D root of that. Back up to D's after that G chord. 3's on the G chord, B, B, A to C, chord tones on A minor, B, the 6, passing tone down to an A, the 5th of the D7, and land on the G there. Again, it sounds fairly consonant on the G. Leap up, we've seen this before, leaping to that high D. Very bright. For the word rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. So we're on a bright 5 chord, or D chord, down to the darker E minor, A minor, A, C, B, A, and E minor with the G note. Here I've shown a little resolution. The A minor to the D7 does a cadence to G, A to D to G. Here we did the A minor to the D, not to the G, but the E minor. That's a deceptive cadence, so I thought I'd mark that one for you. It's 2-5-1 in G, but we're resolving to the E minor, the relative minor, and back to some A section music. The B and G on a G chord, E and G on a C chord, the A on the A minor with that F sharp note, the 6, down to the sus on the B, and we end on the E minor. So there we've resolved on the key, the E minor. Throughout it's been a little ambiguous to me. What exactly is the key center? But the E minors at either end would tell me that that's what we're really looking at. Let's go one more time here. 1, 2, 3. 3 beats at G, E minor, F sharp, Let's go up the octave now. This is for the advanced players. Anybody who is beyond playing those notes right now might find some interest playing at the 7th fret. So we'll have E at the 9 of the 3rd string with our home bass finger, the 1st finger, lining up at the 7. So we get an E arpeggio, E minor arpeggio, the E minor, the E note, to the G, to the B. A is on the 2nd string, 10. C is at the 8 of the 1st string. B, A, G with a G chord. A to B again. Walking down the E minor arpeggio, the G to the E. Back up. A to the F sharp, 7 of the 2nd string. And D, the 7 of the 3rd string. These A notes again, 10th fret of the 2nd string, F sharp the 7, G is the 8, F sharp, E, D, back to that 7th fret, G to A, B's, A, C, B, A, G. Now the reason we're in this position is so we can reach this high D here at the 10th fret. 7s for B's. G on the E minor. Arpeggio again. E, B, G, E, G. So that little diagonal line. A to F, A to F sharp to E to D, E. So we've got a little motion here setting up this E note at the end. E, D, E, or F sharp, E, D, E. And it comes from this A note. This feels to me like it was supposed to be an F sharp minor chord. Or this would be the 3 of the chord, the root, leading you to a B chord, sus, and then B minor, and the E minor. So melodically this feels like an F sharp, the 2 of this section, but we're using the subdominant of the E minor, the A minor, to get there. So there we have 2 octaves, normal open position, and then 7th position. Let's give the whole thing a try again. We'll go nice and slow as usual. A 1, 2, 3, 4. that's good enough for you guys. See you later. Bye.